Hi, good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. It's Andrea, the martial arts woman, and we're going to talk today on reflections on a new day. And I'm going to share some of my personal life with you and some thoughts and reflections that come to mind for me today as I'm going through my day. So here we are with another day. First of all, what are you going to do today? I posted a picture of me saying, oh, maybe I'll sit around and relax today. But the truth is, I'm not good at that. But finding a few moments in the morning to do that is definitely something that I try to do, especially on the weekends. So this morning I did relax for a few minutes, and I hope that you had some time for yourself too. And we have to remember that it's a new day. It's a new beginning. And no matter what's happening in the world or any chaos that's happening around us, we still have the responsibility and the opportunity to make each day count and each moment count. Hi, Gary. So no matter where you are in your martial art journey or your life journey, we can all make things count. So here we are with another day. And so I'm going to ask you first, how will you start your day? So Gary's going to church, and starting your day, or even sometime in your day, with some kind of personal reflection is really so important. Good morning, Sensei Bolden. Whether it's church or your time for yourself, where you take a few minutes to reflect on what's good in your life. And so I'll give you a little breakdown of my day today, and then also how my morning coffee triggers memories in my life. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, because there are certain things that happen in your day that trigger your memories, that trigger reflections of who you are. And so I wanted to touch on that a little bit too. But today is chock full for me because I'm very productive. I just like keep going. Hi, Herman. So today, and Herman, you'll be happy about this, because today I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to practice Tai Chi. So I'm going to work on the 24 form, and I have it memorized. I have all the movements down, but now it's time to kind of look within while I'm doing it, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. I still need a lot of fine points though. But anyway, that's something I'm going to do today. I'm also going to clean the house, which I really don't like to do. But I do like it when it's all nice and clean. So that's on my list. I'm going to work on my book, How to Start Your Own Martial Art Program. It's a slow process. If you've ever written a book, it's hard to sit all day and write. So I do it in chunks of time. And I've edited about 3/4 of the book. I'm going to edit the rest, and then I'm going to go back and do it all again. So it does take time, but I'm hoping to get that out. Maybe at the beginning of the year. I think it would be great for a fresh start for people who have had difficulties hanging on to their martial arts schools, and they still want to teach, they still want their own programs. Kind of a step-by-step guide to bringing your martial art experience into like a program setting at a community center for elderly people, or in schools, or partnering with a health professional. There's a lot of different things that you can do that I've outlined in the book, and a lot of how-to information. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on my Martial Art Woman podcast, and I'm doing this live video. So outreach is often a part of my day, doing some type of positive outreach. Those are my plans for today, and I just want to remind you that your plans for today really help you plan for success. Remember, today leads to tomorrow. So what you do today is important, and it's really, you really need to look at your day and say, am I doing everything I should be doing? And that's not to say you shouldn't hang around and watch TV and movies. And I went to a movie yesterday, and I do watch TV on occasion, and I do things that I enjoy on the side. So, but be productive. Make sure there's something in your day that is productive, because it'll make you feel good about your life, and it'll make others feel good because you've done something. So Gary said he's starting to do fine-tuning for his patterns for his testing next year. So Today is a perfect opportunity to practice your martial arts, and I'm going to work on my Tai Chi, maybe do a couple of kicks later too. But I also wanted to talk about how your day triggers memories that really form and shape who you are. And of course, you all know that I like drinking coffee in the morning, and I'm also part of the Java Buzz morning talk show. And the thing about coffee is that it triggers something in my life. So what happens during your day that triggers a memory or triggers something positive and gives you that like warm feeling about your life to know that, hey, you're doing the right thing, you're in the right direction. And it was so funny this morning because when I was making coffee and I could smell it, that smell suddenly triggered so many thoughts and memories of when I was younger, because I grew up with an Italian family and everybody drank coffee back then, and it was everybody gathered on Sunday afternoons, and today's Sunday, of course, so I have my coffee. But Sunday afternoons, we would all gather with the family, and my grandparents, who were from Italy, would bring custard pie and cream puffs on Sunday afternoons to whatever family was hosting the event. And my grandparents couldn't speak English. They only spoke a few words, but I do remember them always saying, calling the car the machine. So they would say, "Oh, well, we came in the machine," and it was just like growing up in this Italian family where we all got together, and we really enjoyed the company. We would play cards. We had pennies. Excuse me. We had pennies that we would play cards with, like for bets and stuff. And it was so cool. It was in New England. It was Rhode Island where I grew up. And Sunday afternoons were just time for family. And it's different nowadays, isn't it? All of our families, we were all together. We all lived in the same area. And we had that time and that coffee to share together. And I always revert back to those memories whenever I take a sip of coffee. So it's not just the coffee for me. It's like every time I take a sip, it's like drinking in a memory, and it's so special and such a part of my life. So what happened after I lived in Rhode Island? That's another story. But I was one of the first in my family to go to college, and I was one of the first to leave home on my own. And I moved all the way from Rhode Island to Florida to go to college, and I stayed there, and I left in 1981, and I stayed in college until, I stayed there in college, and then I stayed in Florida, which is where I went to school, until 2 years ago. So I spent my entire life really in Florida, getting married, raising 4 kids, building a steel kit house, experiencing devastations up and down, like miscarriages and troubled pregnancies, and living off the grid for 5 years. And all of that happened over the course of parts of my life. And yet I don't look back with bitterness. I practiced martial arts for all of those years. In fact, I started martial arts in 1989. So after I began martial arts, and when I had those issues in my life and the devastations and the concerns and the worries and raising kids and the stress that goes with that, I always had my martial art mindset that pulled me through. And that's one of the most amazing things that happened in my life, and that continues to happen, is that I don't give up easily, and I don't let obstacles pull me away from who I want to be. I constantly fight and struggle and work towards being the person I want to be. And I hope you do the same. You really have to recognize that you are important and valuable. The world needs you. That's why you're here, and that's why I'm here. And we each have passions and talents and skills, and we need to bring them to the table. So whatever you feel bubbling up inside, whatever you feel called to do, and even if you don't want to do it, think about it. Think about what it truly means. I never wanted to sit and talk to people. That was not something I ever wanted to do. I don't like public speaking, and I still don't, but it doesn't bother me like it used to. It's not a fear like it used to be. But the thing was, it always called me. And, just as I drink that coffee every morning, that brings back the memories of my youth and my mother and my parents and my Italian family. Those other things in my mind call me to do the same. And all I can say is that make sure you smell the coffee in the morning. Make sure you smell the flowers. Make sure you see what's around you, your family, the goodness, the positivity. In our kind of troubled world today, we need that. And don't think that you ever lose that. You always have the capability to make today what you want it to be for you. And don't ever forget that. Don't ever let that go. Be the person that you're meant to be. So the coffee brings me back. It brings me back in time to my youth. And every time I have a cup or two in the morning, I'm sort of renewed. I'm sort of reminded of life and what's good about it. My family, my youth growing up in Rhode Island, my Italian background, all of the things that I've done over time are driven by the thoughts of who I want to be. I've had so many interesting experiences. I've worked as a private investigator for 8 years. I taught martial arts for many years. Today I'm a podcaster. None of these things I expected, but they all happened. And that's the thing about life. There are things that are going to happen that you don't expect. And martial arts helps you with that flexibility of mind, adaptability, recognizing that one direction is not always the best one or might not work, and you have to turn around. It doesn't mean failure. It means lessons. It means growth. And it means following your passion and purpose and being the person that you're meant to be. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to go the wrong way sometimes, but in the end, you will find exactly where you're supposed to be. It's always going to work out that way. So just make sure you give it your effort, your try, give it some diligence, consideration, sit and have a cup of coffee or your favorite morning beverage and ponder about your life and what it means and how important it is. So here we are at the end of my little chat. And so many years later, after meeting with my family, my Italian family on Sunday afternoons, I sit here still meeting with my family, and that's all of you, and having a cup of coffee that brings me back to balance because it is full of memories. It's not a cup of coffee, it's a cup really of memories and of truths and of situations that I overcame. What triggers you, what brings you back to who you are and who you're meant to be. So I hope you enjoyed my reflections on a new day. Don't forget that today prepares you for success for tomorrow. And while I'm not one to sit around and do nothing, I can't relax, I'm not really good at that. But I have so many things that I want to do for me and for you. And that's what I'm going to focus on. So good morning, David Thomas. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't forget about the Martial Arts Women podcast, where I interview fascinating martial art women all over the world, and my books, The Martial Arts Woman and Martial Art Inspirations for Everyone. They make fabulous holiday gifts, so I hope you'll consider picking them up on Amazon, or let me know if you need anything. So, how will you fill your time today? Let's prepare for success. Have a great day.